community. And today we have an amazing episode. I can't wait to introduce this person. I had the opportunity to meet her at a preacher event. It was actually an art gallery, and it was some amazing art there. And then we got a chance to talk about golf. Now, a lot of y'all know me. Y'all know that I love golf. And to hear the things that she is doing within the sport of golf is absolutely, I think, monumental. And I wanted to sit down with her to pick her brain and figure out why she's doing what she's doing, how she's doing what she's doing, because she's making enormous waves in the sport. And it's my pleasure to introduce to all of you Miss Daniella. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. What an intro. Thank you.
No, thank you. I mean, sure, I'm the one that's pretty blessed to have you sitting here on our couch and talking about golf and
I know.
and why golf. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
before we get into, you and where you're from and all that good stuff, I wanted to show our family. She brought us some gifts.
Yes.
So this is AIEA Golf right here, right? That's how you say it?
AIEA Golf. The best socks you'll ever wear.
AIEA Golf.
Now.
And I'm going to tell you right now, they feel so good. And she also gave us this killer, which is going to have to go up there with our Cam and Christian.
Yeah.
This killer Converse. This is so dope.
Best ball marker.
Cannot wait to have this stamp somewhere. We might have to get like a drawing up there. Expand it, because this is.
There you
this
go.
Is dope.
Add it to the collection.
Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
And speaking of your brand, real quick.
Yeah.
Before we get into who you are, what AIEA Golf? Like what that name? Like how'd you come up with that name?
AIEA. The letters of AIEA are just the vowels of my first name. So Daniella. So it's my way of saying Daniella's golf brand without being so explicit about it. Mm-hmm. It literally came to me in a vision, and I was like, I love it. No one knows how to say it, which is great. So it's a conversation starter. It's the vowels of my first name, so it's like me in a logo. And when I trademarked the name, I found out that AIEA is a city in Hawaii, and I was like, perfect.
A brainer.
I know. So you'll see me out in AIEA, Hawaii one of these days. I don't know when,
but what's cool is that this is a woman's brand.
Yeah.
Brand, right?
Yes.
Like
yes.
In a way, I feel like you're empowering women on the golf course to have clothes that fit them.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the idea?
That's one of the main reasons why I got into this. I mean, I've been playing golf for over 20 years now. Mm-hmm. So I used to play competitively when I was younger, and now just socially as an adult. And over the years, it's just we're offered the same ugly golf apparel. It's the same boxy collared shirt in a terrible pattern. It's either flamingos or paisley or some awful color. Doesn't fit right, never fits right. And then you have shorts or skirts that are either way too short or way too long. There's nothing in between. Again, doesn't fit correctly in the hips because it's essentially made for a man, just squished in. And I'm like, after all these years, even the big guys, the big brands aren't doing anything about it, creating like apparel that a woman would actually want to wear, made of high quality fabrics for like the normal golfer. So I said, why don't I just try it myself? And so here we are 3 years later.
Amazing.
I know.
And you just finished your first full year.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
That is so
it's a big
dope.
deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah, this year I launched in January 2024, so it'll be almost a full year. And this year has been tremendous, just learning what the heck I'm doing in building a business and actually promoting my product to the world and seeing how people react. It's been one hell of a roller coaster ride, but every moment was worth it. So.
Girl, congratulations.
That's
awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. But let's backtrack real quick.
Okay.
All right. So why golf? Why did you first start golfing? Like what got you into the sport?
So I grew up in middle school and high school in Florida, Naples, Florida. My dad actually started playing golf when we moved down there from New York, and he got me into it. He got me into golf. And I hated it at first. Was not into it. It was not like the cool sport to play. All the cool girls were playing tennis or something else, and I was like, I want to play tennis or something else. And but my parents kept me in golf and just continued over time. And as I actually grew in the sport, I really started to enjoy it. I started getting better and better. I loved that you could play by yourself or with other people, and it's a game that you play against yourself essentially. And I really, really liked that. Who I am as a person, I like to like build within myself and blah blah blah. So it really stuck to me. And after a while, I started playing in tournaments and getting scholarships and doing pretty well. And I was like, I actually really like the game of golf. Who would have thought? So that's how I got into it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you still go out and play with your pops now, or?
Well, my dad passed away this a few years ago, but he would have been ecstatic at me having a golf apparel brand. Like, he would have been over the moon seeing me create this brand of a sport we played together. I always used to joke he was my caddy. Like, when I was in high school, he would literally caddy for me and yell at me, from across the course to make sure I was using the right club. And it was a really special experience that I had growing up with my father. So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And that adds to the reason why you felt so compelled to build something like this.
Yeah.
And here you are, a year later, making things happen.
I know.
You're all over the place.
I am.
So let me ask you, and I want to ask this specifically about the brand.
Okay.
So what is it when it comes to the functionality of being on the golf course, but also, like, you want to appeal to people, right?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
You want to have, like, some type of, like, sexiness to it.
Yeah, totally.
So how do you balance that?
So one of the things that always drove me absolutely nuts about golf apparel is that it never moved with a woman's figure. Like, whoever was approving these garments for women, like, clearly never put them on a woman. I'm convinced. So when you're taking a swing of a club, everything's moving too high up, or it's not moving at all. The fabrics never breathe in the right places, so you're, like, getting stuck. It's clinging to you in the wrong places. So that was really, really important to me, that the quality of fabrics in my pieces were high, but also they were fitted to a woman's figure. And it sounds so duh saying that, but a lot of these pieces are just like pared down menswear. They're boxy, they don't fit right in the bust or the hips. So when you're swinging a club, they also move in not a good way. So I made sure that all the pieces move appropriately with the woman's figure in mind. That's really important to me, and it's really made for the curves of a woman. But also it's edgy and cool. And I call it subtle sexy. Like, we're not trying to be, all boobs and butts on the course. We want to, like, look feminine but be cool, and we don't have to wear the same thing for over and over and over.
Be feminine and kick ass at the same time.
Heck yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love that. I love that. So how did you? So I think it's interesting when you say, like, certain swings, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to feel tight when maybe you're coming across, and you didn't have. There weren't apparel, like you said, to fit women to where you felt comfortable in all your movement. You felt free.
Yeah.
So to speak. Is that what I'm getting at?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even the bagginess of it. It's more fabrics that, again, are good quality, high quality enough that they move with you. So they either don't move in the right way, they fit you in the appropriate way to hug your curves in a way that, the midriff isn't coming up over your bra as you take a swing.
Right.
Or, they're not, like, dragging everywhere. So that was really, I wanted to make sure that every piece is tailored to the golf swing.
That's amazing. I think that you have not only, I would say, a product, but an identity in your product, right? Like, you made this for women. Yeah,
I made it for me.
It made it for you.
I made this for me. Like, everything is tailored to my body type, frankly. And I got into this business for a number of reasons, and one of those is because I couldn't find anything that I liked to wear on the course that I felt comfortable in, that I also thought was, like, cool and stylish enough for me. And I'm like, well, let me make a brand that I would actually buy and wear,
So
and hope that other people like it.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it makes me go back to the reason why you started this, right? Like, there was nothing really for women.
Well, correct. I mean, there are women's golf apparel brands, of course, now.
I'm talking about then, right? Whenever you had the idea, you're thinking of how can we become more inclusive, and my question is really towards the golf aspect. Like, do you feel like it's becoming more inclusive for people like yourself, women?
I do, actually. There's a lot of negativity around the golf world right now. A big boom in women's sports right now, the eyeballs on women's sports right now, which is incredible. One of those is golf. But I've actually never felt excluded from a course, I have to say. I've never felt like I didn't know, someone was going to treat me poorly if I went to go hit balls by myself. Then again, I've been playing for over 20 years, so I know how to carry a golf bag. I know where to go on the course. I know how to sign up, to get balls or whatever I need. Most people don't, and a lot of women don't. So the biggest thing I hear when I talk about my brand from women who either want to play golf or they're just getting into it, and they're like, it's super intimidating. And I totally understand that. It is. Yeah. It's an intimidating sport to get into. It's not an easy sport. It's not something that you just pick up. It's very technical. It costs money. You need space. You need some training. And frankly, you want to look good while doing it. And there aren't many options to look good while you're playing golf. So
and that's what it boils down to.
That's a big part of it.
100%.
Totally. And it's, say whatever you want about like the outward appearance, but if you feel like you look good, you're just naturally going to feel better, especially when you're doing something that you don't know how to do.
100%.
Yeah.
The man himself, Deion Sanders, said, if you look good and you feel good, you're going to play good.
100%.
Right?
100%.
So that's really what it comes down to. I know for me, like when I wanted to learn how to golf, I didn't go out there in jeans.
Yeah.
I didn't go out there in a Carhartt jacket.
Yeah.
I wanted to look the part.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel the part.
Totally.
So I can, try to get into that mindset of this is golf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's okay. That's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like getting to that.
Yeah.
And what would you say to like any woman that wanted to start golf?
I would say that don't let anyone make you feel like they're better than you, because I promise you they're probably not. Like, that's also another thing I hear all the time. Everyone's better than me. Everyone knows how to play golf. I have heard the biggest talk from people who barely know how to swing a club. I'm like, just go out there. If you're having fun and you feel good in what you're wearing, you are a golfer just like the rest of us. Don't let anyone else tell you anything different, because I promise you no one is as good as they say. I promise you that. So
I love that.
Yeah, you've probably experienced that too with some people in your life.
100%.
Yeah, it's like big talkers, not big swingers.
And it's like, you know what? How about we just go out here and have a good time?
What is wrong with that? Why do we always have to worry about handicap and this and that? It's like, no one's trying to go pro here.
Because golf teaches you a lot of good life lessons.
It does.
How many times do you go out on a golf course and you're swinging, and then for some reason something in your life comes up throughout that course of the game, and you're thinking about it, and it's almost like it's like therapy. You work through.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
You work through that shot or that hole. And you're like, wow, that made me think of this. And now you have a different type of clarity with. Does that make sense?
It totally does. I think that's one of the most beautiful things about golf, is that it is like a therapy session, whether you want it to be or not, and whether you're by yourself or playing with others. It's a space that gets you out of your comfort zone. You're doing a weird movement that isn't natural, so you have to think about it. Mm-hmm. There's mental stamina that's really part of the game. And you have to be patient. Like, you learn to be patient. You learn a lot about yourself around being patient. And, things that come up on the golf course when you're playing are life lessons, if we're going to be, deep about it, but it's true.
100%.
It's what it is.
100%.
Patience, stamina, really looking at yourself, who you are, and what you want to be.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That word that you said, stamina.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
Expand on that a little bit, because I think that we don't hear too many people talk about like what stamina means.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. For me, that means more than just physical stamina. Yeah, you need to be somewhat athletic to play any sport, but for me, it means mostly mental, totally mental stamina. I mean, you can't go out on a golf course and expect to hit every shot well. You're going to hit some bad shots, and it's always, what are you going to do in the next shot? That's something I'm still working on to this day after 20 years of playing. If I hit 3 bad shots in a row, I try to make sure that doesn't make me go into some type of spiral. And I know better. I know. I'm not trying to be an LPGA pro. I'm trying to have fun, and I still beat myself up over it. Yeah. So forces you to step back and realize, okay, I'm here in this present moment. This is just a game. We're not saving lives here.
We're not doing like CPR or brain surgery.
We're not. No. So let me see what's triggering it and move on from there.
Oh my goodness. See, that's why I love talking to golfers.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody like, it's just a different type of game.
Yeah, it really is.
You know?
Yeah.
And you really can take your time. You really can breathe. You really can try to calculate and understand and bring in as much information to go about something the best you can.
Totally.
And that's all you're doing is the best you can.
That's exactly right.
Don't beat yourself up.
That's exactly right. You hit it on the head right there. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. Let's pivot real quick to the business side.
Okay.
So, have you run into like any struggles as an entrepreneur on trying to build your brand within golf? Like, we talk about like you as an athlete in the golf, but then being the business side is completely different.
Yeah.
Right? So how has that been as far as building the brand? Like, what would you say to anybody that's looking to try to build something like this?
I mean, we could talk about this for 2 days straight, right? It's just one of those things. I have learned so much about myself throughout this process of building a business and building a brand that really embodies me. I said from day one, when I quit my real job, if you will, when I started doing this, I'm not going to do this unless it's 100% me, 100% from my heart and soul, and no one else can move that needle. Like, it has to be me or I'm not doing it. And you also don't feel it from the heart unless it's that way. So I also didn't know anything about the fashion world, the back end of the fashion world, manufacturing, sourcing fabrics, marketing, accounting, what I needed a lawyer for. I mean, everything I learned was from the ground up. The first thing I did when I left my last career was take a How to Build a Fashion Brand 101 course online, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to figure it out. And the thing that I've learned the most over these past couple of years is you have to have a tremendous amount of grit. You have to have a tremendous amount of grit when you're building a business. And I think that comes with really having a brand and a vision that aligns with you. If you're doing it for the money, it's never going to work. It's never going to be successful, because people can see right through that. You also won't be as passionate about it. Mm-hmm. And also, when you wake up every morning and get metaphorically punched in the face by something, because you will every day for years, you have to have it in you to say, you know what? I see the end goal. I know why I'm doing this. So I'm going to keep going. It hurts. I haven't eaten in a couple days. I'm confused. I cry more than I ever have, but I know why I'm doing this. So having that stamina, again, that mental stamina and that grit is really, really important. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned from this process. And I have to say, I'm proud of myself that I've been rolling with the punches, because there have been tons of punches just from every angle. It's a lonely, lonely process building a business, even if you have people in your corner. But more times than not, people will try to tell you how to run your business, project onto you quite a bit, and you have to have the mental resilience too to be like, look, it doesn't feel right, so I'm gonna move my own way.
What's yours is yours.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. If it's going to go down, I'm going to be the captain making it go down. It's only going to be on me. So, and if it goes up, I will also be the captain of that. So.
It's kind of weird for you to tell me how to plant my seed.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I've found that it's always the loudest people that are giving you, quote, advice are always the people who would never leave their 9 to 5. And they would never put their own money behind an idea that they have. So it's really important to also align yourself with people that have really your true interests at heart, but also have done something like this before. They understand the process. They understand how difficult and lonely this process really is, because they get it. They totally get it.
And you feel like you have that group of people around you.
I feel like it took me a while to build that, because I had to maneuver through the noise. Like, I was falling trapped to some of that, as much as I don't want to admit that. My business there was a point where I was pivoting the business because everyone knows better than me. Everyone knows, they have more experience, they know more than me, so I should take that advice. And I found that my business was shifting, the vision was shifting because of that. And it took me basically a whole year to be like, wait a second, it doesn't actually feel right in my body. I could physically feel it. But something's off. It's because I'm following the crowd, because I think that's what I have to do, because everyone knows better. But when I went back to my original vision and really took account of who I am as a person, as a business person, everything kind of clicked back into place, which is great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so dope, dude. Obviously we all have our trials and tribulations.
Of course.
And we all gonna go through it.
Of course.
But it's so cool that you rep that out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When they say rep it out, you down to the chest and you locked elbows.
I can't. This year has been one of the most intense of my life. And now I can look back on it and be like, I'm so glad that happened. But when you're in the middle of the fire, you're
though?
like, I don't know if I'm going to survive. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. No one does.
But you're on the opposite side of that, and you're like, damn, look how much stronger that fire made me.
Totally.
And look at where we're at now.
Totally.
That's so dope, dude.
Totally, yeah.
And what's something, before we get out of here, I want to make sure I ask this question.
Okay.
What's something that you want to bring awareness to? Maybe it's in the golf world, or maybe it's just life in general. Something that you think that's important for people to, pay attention to or understand.
Honestly, I'd have to go back to what we were just talking about really trusting your gut. Really trust your gut, like what your body is telling you when people are talking to you. The people you surround yourself with are really important, and to take time to figure out what really makes you feel aligned. Like, I've never felt so aligned in my life. I know this journey is going to be incredibly difficult, building a business, but I've never felt so aligned. Like, I would light the world on fire for my business, and I can't say that about anything else in my life up to this point. And so to have that, and to be lucky enough to have that, I had to really experience a lot of things. But one of those is to trust myself.
Yeah.
Trust myself when it comes to everything in your life, whether that's business, friendships, relationships, where you physically move. Just literally trust your gut. I think it's helped me in more ways than one. And
that sounds like it's also kind of helps you in your personal walk or personal faith, or I don't know if I'm hearing that right.
Yes.
But it sounds like that type of process that you went through helped you in, I guess, a spiritual journey as well.
My spirituality has really come to the forefront in this journey. I know I wouldn't be where I am right now had I not really dove into that. Moving to Austin almost 2 years ago now has helped me that. I think there's room here to explore that in different ways, and maybe when I was living in New York, it's just the environment it's more difficult to do that.
Yeah.
And I feel really lucky and blessed that I I went through a fire in that way too, spiritual fire, to come out and say all those layers were shed that needed to be, and I was avoiding that because it's too painful. But if there's one thing starting a business has shown me too, is every insecurity you've ever had will come out about everything in your life, not even just business, about personal relationships, family. Every single insecurity will come out. And if you're doing it right, you're going to feel a lot of pain because you're going to shed those layers. And my spirituality has really, really helped me through this process. And it's something that I am excited to grow as I move forward with my life.
It's amazing. It's an amazing thing when your work is providing benefits in all walks of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your mental, your spiritual, your physical. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you know that you're on the right track.
Right.
And I think that's how you know that you're aligned really with God, is that,
right.
you know, or in the higher sense, in the sense that you are putting everything into this thing and it's giving you so much in return in so many areas.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree with you.
I applaud you, dude. Like, I'm happy for you.
Thank
like
you.
This, and I know if y'all don't get it confused.
I don't.
This is about to be the brand of the future. And here's the thing, like, do you plan to, like, try to partner with, like, golf brands or not golf brands, but like golfers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a few exciting partnerships coming up in 2025. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. They're gonna be. You're gonna die in a good way. I know. I know. But one of the things I love to do is I love to partner with high school golfers. That is
please tell me about that a little bit more.
High school golf was tremendously impactful for me as a person in many ways. It taught me a lot. It's also when I started liking golf. And there's a huge impact of the sport of golf when I think you're in your youth, especially at your teenager ages. So I like to support high school golfers and really hear their stories, because it's never just about the sport. These women are so dynamic. People that choose to play golf, there's something about them in a good way. You're always a dynamic human if you choose to put yourself through 18 holes of golf. There's always something else there. So I like to weed that out. Okay. One thing that was interesting to me when I started this business is that my customer base is skewing younger than I imagined. So a lot of high school collegiate golfers really love my stuff, which I love. I am here for that. I know. Yeah. So I'm like, let's get some of these girls in some AIEA Golf gear and make them look cool on the course, because they don't have anything cool to wear either.
That is so dope.
I know. So hopefully more of that in 2025.
Well, y'all heard it here first. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now. Look, y'all gonna see me wearing it.
I know.
Okay, y'all men gonna be like, "Hey, bro, what is that?" I'm like, "It's AIEA." They gonna be like, "Where you get those?" Exclusive.
Exactly.
But look, man, to all because we do have a solid female following, and I just want to say shout out to all the women that follow our podcast. We thank you. We salute you. Daniella is the prime example of a person that we want to make sure that we bring to the forefront to you, because you're doing something so amazing for women. You're empowering women on the golf course. You're empowering them in a sport that they haven't been empowered in since really the inception of the sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, it's true.
This is, I said it at the beginning, I think it's monumental what you're doing.
Thank you.
Because what you're doing is not only making it sexier for women to play the sport, but you're making it better as far as what we wear, comfortable.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I can be athletic and still, like, look good while doing it.
Totally. Getting women excited about trying something new in a kind of difficult sport. I mean, I'm here for that all day. All day. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there aren't other brands out there that are doing this.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that this is still needed. You know what I mean?
Right. Totally.
We still need more eyes on this.
Yeah.
And you're making sure that they can feel good, look good while doing it.
Yeah, boost that confidence on the course.
And I applaud you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
So please, y'all make sure that y'all gonna see the link in the bio at the bottom to check out AIEA Golf by this amazing woman that's doing an amazing thing. And I speak on the behalf of all of Halftime, shout out Biscuit Head, that we support, and we cannot wait to see the rocket that this brand is going to be one day. And I can't wait to hopefully not put holes in these and wear them forever. So with that said, actually before we leave,
yeah,
Miss Daniella, is there anything else you would like to say to our followers and our fan base?
Oh gosh, no pressure.
No pressure.
I'm just excited to be here.
Well, I thank you. No,
I am. I really am. And thank you for everyone that has supported me this far. A one-person team, so every bit helps, and meeting people like you really makes this worth it. So
you're doing such an amazing job.
Thank you.
And the reason for this podcast and for everybody that's watching, we gonna support this brand. We gonna make this thing blow up, and it's gonna be the newest, biggest golf brand of the new century coming up.
There we go.
I said new century, new decade.
Yeah,
my fault.
I
So I think century is too far. Y'all know I got a little loose screw. Anyway, with that said, man, thank y'all. We out.